That's just TMI. With your hosts, DeeDee and Sir Dre.
Hey y'all, it's your girl DeeDee from That's Just TMI, and I'm here with my favorite. You've heard his name probably on episode 1 through 5 because I like to talk about my man. It's my husband. We got married during COVID. Akeem favorite. Insert applause. Woo!
Yay.
So on this episode of That's Just TMI, we wanted to talk to our couples, I guess specifically, and get a feel for how you've endured COVID. How have you handled quarantine? And now that we're out of quarantine, how was all of that? We'll share our story, especially being newlyweds and, living in the house together and all the fun.
Yeah, but I think before we start, babe, we should tell the folks.
Oh, babe, my name is DeeDee.
Sorry, DeeDee. Before we start, we should tell the folks what happened to Sir Dre.
Oh.
Why is it here?
Yeah, so Sir Dre is a bit injured at this time.
Yeah.
We don't know the full story. All we know is that something's wrong with his foot. So we lift you up in prayers, and we hope that you'll be back. I mean, he'll be back with us soon.
Yeah,
don't you worry.
Yeah,
I know DeeDee and Sir Dre. We got you. He's just filling in.
I'm just filling in.
Yes.
I'm usually the guy behind.
Big shoes to fill. So
yeah.
We'll see. Oh yes, he's usually the guy behind the camera. So you can only imagine who's behind the camera.
Nobody.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that we probably go through some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So how was it enduring COVID? Being stuck at home with your significant other. And I know we've asked a couple of our friends these questions so we could kind of get a feel for how they endured COVID.
Mm-hmm. It's been good.
I'm not convinced.
I've had those days where I'm bored because it's as you know, I'm used to being up and about just like you, always doing things, always on the road,
bunch.
Right? We're active people, right? So being home now, it has its blessings or its pros and it has its cons. Yeah. So the pro to it is that I get to spend it with her all day, every day as a newlywed,
Yeah.
Can't get enough of that love. But yeah, so I'm with her. That's great. We get to know each other, to spend time with each other, to talk more, and build our marriage, and build our home. So that's the good part of it, right? Like I said, the bad part of it is just that there isn't much to do, or there hasn't been much to do. So us who are active.
Yeah, but I think at the beginning of COVID, we actually had a lot of things. Okay, not like the beginning, not like March, but May. Year? No, but I'm talking about May. So May we got married, right? And then it was a matter of furnishing our house and doing that stuff.
That was a lot.
We were very active. So let's talk about some of our friends who weren't as active. So I spoke to a friend, and their big thing was that now they felt like their space, so their home, because they were working from home a lot. But now their husband is home with them, so now their husband is invading their space. Their space.
Yeah, there is that 8 hours space in between where you can relax and just get away.
Yeah.
So now they're stuck. Yeah.
And then I also talked to some of our friends who they're dating, right? So they lived apart, and as such, it was easy to travel to each other pre-COVID, but during COVID, being quarantined and being concerned about your other family members' health, you may not want to go out as much to see that person. And I genuinely had to ask, did your relationship suffer during that time, or was your relationship strengthened? And for some, it strengthened, and for others, unfortunately,
there was an entanglement.
Unbelievable. That's actually really good, but. Yes, I didn't know he was going to put people's business on the street.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing no names were said.
Yes.
But yes, there were other entanglements because, if you find out that you don't have to go as far of a distance to get the same, I guess, type of loving, why
just
not?
Go upstairs.
Unbelievable.
Push a button. 10th floor. No, see?
For those who were stuck in the building.
Or the next door neighbor. But yeah, anyways. But what about you? I mean, you're someone that used to go to the office, and now I got you this desk over here, and you work from home, and you don't get that 8 hours away from the house, or now that we're married, away from me. Tell us about that. How does that work?
Well, I, like Akeem said, I enjoy being with him and seeing him and spending time with him, and that part's good because instead of my hour break, my hour break during the day, I can spend that time with Akeem and we can watch a show or just sit down and talk. And if I were at work, I would be sitting in the lunchroom, probably texting him just the same. But it's different now because I can go cuddle up on the couch if I want to, and for that part, I would say that's really flexible and that's easy and smooth and that's nice. And I would like to think and hope that for you, your relationship was strengthened like ours was during this time. If not, let us know in the comment section below. Yeah. If we don't have any real tips to give. We are what 3 months in? May, June, July, August. Well, this month is gonna be our 4th month. Sounds right, because it's just September, because we just started. So yeah, but I'm really excited. I know COVID had pulled a strain on a lot of other relationships, not just husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. We couldn't see our parents as much. We couldn't see a lot of people who are near and dear to us. I mean, our bridal party. Yeah. They weren't even at our wedding because of COVID.
Sucked.
Yeah. So it's been very interesting and very different. And now that the city's opened up, it's kind of helping us, I guess, rebuild those relationships with friends and with family, and we now understand the importance of actually face to face.
Definitely. And what I want to say too, DeeDee, for me, COVID has really brought an awareness in terms of family, right? Yes, we are family people and family oriented, but I think it brought us together, or even allowed us to do things as a family that we never did before. Yeah. Right. So for my family, I have a big family, right? We don't usually do a lot of things together because everyone's always busy doing things. So COVID has forced us to come together to actually do things. We had three game nights.
Yeah, and some barbecues. That's been good.
Family dinners. So that's the plus with COVID, is that it has allowed families to come together to do things that they never used to do. That's true. And that's one thing I appreciate.
Yeah, and for me, on I guess the flip side, so my family isn't as big, but I'm very grateful that I got my mom an iPhone, because FaceTiming, because we don't live that close to my parents, so being able to FaceTime has been really good. And it's always funny when anybody older than a millennial really is trying to figure out how to FaceTime and do all the stuff. It's like, why is the phone right here, mommy? Yeah. And then the phone goes all the way out there. It's like, you can't see me? Yeah. It's just very entertaining.
Always calling on WhatsApp.
That's his side of the family. My family doesn't do that. And that upsets me.
That's funny.
Do you get annoyed when your family messages you on WhatsApp? Let us know, because we would like to know.
Forward messages. Not messages, just forward messages.
Oh, because they don't want to type any to you.
They just forward everything.
Just all the pictures.
Forward it. Have a good day. Good morning. It's Monday.
I hate those daily messages. Yeah. Which we have a lot of because his family is big.
Yeah.
I kid, but yeah, relationships really did take I guess a plunge. There was a strain on them.
We've heard in the news also with families that have gone through domestic violence because of COVID,
Yeah, they said that there was an increase in domestic violence once we were quarantined. And that is so scary to know that, because you are, this is my interpretation of it.
You're home now, you drink more, because,
And outside of the drinking, because there are people who are just angry.
Right.
And who may not be able to control themselves or their emotions or feelings accordingly, and then revert to that, or end up doing that, and that's just so sad. And That was one of the sad parts. I mean, outside of, yes, COVID is killing people. That was another sad part in the news for me.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah. What would you do?
What would I do? I mean, I don't know. What would I do?
I wasn't asking you the question.
What would they do?
I was asking them.
Okay. I'm like,
He's
I wouldn't
new
beat
to
nobody.
being before the screen, so he doesn't really understand the lingos and the jargon.
What would you do?
We gotta ask them. Yeah. So, what
the
have
viewers.
you been doing?
Yeah.
During COVID, how?
Especially those single mothers, those who have to stay home with their children, and now the city's opening up.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. Like, how are you gonna juggle the things that you were able to do pre-COVID? So, like, how are you gonna juggle sending them to school? How are you gonna juggle
the worry
working
of a child catching a cold wasn't anything.
Yeah, it wasn't as serious.
It's children. They catch a cold, they go over it. But now it's like they're catching more than a cold. It might be COVID, right? So now those parents may say, okay, I don't want to send my child to work. I mean, sorry, to daycare.
My child to work.
To daycare, to school.
This is why I brought him on.
So they gotta stay. So they gotta stay home with the child while they're still working from home, or even being in school online from home.
Sorry, repeat, because I got stuck on the sending my child to work.
Unbelievable.
He said my word. Woo! We're going to take a pause in this section to do our unbelievable segment.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Woo!
Tell them.
Yes.
Tell them.
So,
not me. Them.
Unbelievable segment. The unbelievable segment is a section of our program where we talk about things that are unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay.
We're going to come up with a song later. But the unbelievable segment for this week, we will be talking to you about something that is so far-fetched. Like, you won't believe it. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. You know what it is, but I know you. Do you really know what it is?
I know what it is.
Okay.
Are you going to tell them what it is?
Yeah, I'm telling them right now.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
This is living with us. Anyways, so the last episode that you watched, episode 5, you would have found out that we did it at Pickering Town Center, and the city was reopening at that point, right? While we were filming that episode, or when we finished filming that episode, a young lady walked by. And Sir Dre recognized her, said hi, and then her husband walked shortly thereafter. And he said, oh, yeah, hail them up. And Dre was like, those are my cousins. And I said, that man looks awfully familiar. So I said, I'm going to call my mom and try and figure out if this person is the person who I think it is. Right? So I said to Sir Dre, what's his last name? And Sir Dre tells me his last name. And I said, but that's my mama's maiden name. So I did the math. I called the people. Found out that this cousin, who's Sir Dre's cousin, is also my cousin. Which means that me and Sir Dre are cousins. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Like, it was so crazy standing there, the three of us as cousins, and we took a picture together, and that is the unbelievable segment for this week. It's short to the point, but that one just threw us all off. We can't believe. And wait, on top of that, it means that my cousin, our cousin, married us.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Like
Wow.
family. Family. It's phenomenal. Say phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
But it's not the phenomenal segment. It's the unbelievable segment.
Yeah, but that is shocking to know that you got married by someone who was just a pastor.
I mean, not
but
just
now,
that,
now it's your family.
We've known Sir Dre for so long.
Go to his church and
it's a good thing that we've always been nice to each other.
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah. But hey. Yes. Yeah. So I guess back to our regular scheduled programming. Where we're talking about the city being opened up and relationships that may have suffered during COVID and how we've been trying to rebuild those relationships. And do you think that the family time that was spent during COVID will still continue post-COVID? Like, I think
I
it
don't
might
think
go
so.
back to suffering.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I think people may have realized its importance and may put in more effort.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
It's a bit of both. You'll have some who will put in the time and say, you know what, enough is enough. I see
Enough is enough.
I see what COVID has
Enough.
done. Some people may have experienced death because of COVID. So now it's drawing them closer, and after this it's like, you know what, we're gonna stay connected. But then there's gonna be those who will just go back to their busy lives.
Yeah.
Who will be okay with spending more than 8 hours at the office when you have your wife and kids at home. Who's okay with working on the weekends
I don't want
just
you
to
to
make
say
ends
okay.
meet.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
right?
I think it becomes essential. It's not like, yes, we want to do it. It's because the bills are piling up and we have to do it. So
But
yes,
some-
my family may end up suffering.
Yes, but also there are some who do it to get away from their spouse.
Well,
So it's like, I've been
Is it
stuck.
you?
No, it's not
it
me.
you?
It's not me. Right? It's not me. But you know, you've been stuck in the house for like 3-4 months with the person.
yeah.
It's like, whew,
want
I'm
a
gonna
little
take
bit of
the
freedom.
OT as much as I can so I can get away now, because I'm like, I'm free. Not me, but the people. Yeah.
You better correct yourself after every one of these statements. That's very good.
I love you. I love you.
I'm kidding, guys, but
Yeah.
I understand, and that's pretty true. I mean, what do we know, right, guys? We're just 3 months
Just
in,
talking, yeah.
and I think it's important to look at your family and and what you guys have been doing, especially because we've experienced so many deaths outside of, you know, maybe your immediate family, but within our Black community, we've experienced so much death, and it's like one week after the next, there's so much hurt and pain, and then someone posts something that says hug your loved ones or love on your loved ones while they're alive. And my grandmother always says, give people them flowers while them can take it, something like that.
While they're alive.
While they're alive, yeah. Because there's no point, I mean, not there's no point, but for you to give me the flowers at my funeral, I'm not alive to accept it or to
Right.
see it or recognize that it's happened. But if you give me my flowers while I'm alive, and it doesn't have to be anything. She's always like, it doesn't have to be a bouquet of roses or anything like that. You can go on road and plant and pick up flowers and come give it to me. You know,
Right.
just something to show your love and your affection. And I think that pre-COVID, we may not have been as aware of that we weren't loving on our loved ones. We weren't hugging them and showing them how much they care. And, you know, when you look at south of the border and everything that's happening there, it makes you want to love on your loved ones that much more. You know, when you're seeing so many things happen in social media. Like, I actually took a break from Instagram the other day because I said, this phone is just giving me bad news right now. Like, it's just back to back of death and hurt and sadness and one after the other in our community not being respected or appreciated, and that just weighs on our community, and sometimes that can be reflected within your home.
Definitely.
So it may not even be that I'm upset with Akeem, but what is your name, your stage name? Akeem. That's just his name. It may not be that I'm upset with him, but I'm upset with what's happening in the world, but I might take it out on him. You know, like, you just don't know where to put your anger. And then because this is the person I'm seeing every day, of course, I don't want to keep the anger bottled up.
Yeah.
Take the anger, Keemy. Take the anger.
Thank God me back, broad.
Okay, first of all, this is not a real scenario.
Sorry.
Don't make it sound like it's real and I'm over here just yelling at you. That's no.
She's amazing.
But it's something that, you know,
Sweet.
has
Sugar.
really
Sweet. Sugar.
focused.
Sorry. Yes.
It's something that has caused me to think, you know, about what's happening in our community. And also in our community, we're not the lovey-dovey type. We're not always the lovey-dovey type. You know, our men, what were you told as a child? Weren't you told that if you're crying is, what were you told? Crying is for girls, men don't cry?
Yeah, men don't cry.
You know,
Yeah.
so for our, I mean, we can only speak for our community, so I don't know what other communities tell their children. But within our Black community, our men are told that they are strong and they're meant to be, like he said at the beginning, or not at the beginning, a couple minutes ago, his back is broad, so he can handle it.
Yeah.
You're told to do that, right?
Yeah, to show strength and not cry. Yeah. So every time things happen in life, it's the man that's supposed to carry the burden and just be strong for the family. But inside, and the truth be told, a lot of men are suffering. And that's why a lot of men have may go through mental breakdowns because society has put this weight on us as men to carry the burden, to do this, to do that, to do this, and we are seen to be macho and not to be crying, to be brave for our family, and we take all this on. But sometimes the world, or even our spouses, or even our families, don't say, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, and as you mentioned that society puts all these things on you, I'm also thinking about the fact that society, yes, puts all these things on you, but don't give you the tools that you may need to be able to handle the things that are put on you. So
exactly.
you are told to be brave, you're told to be strong, you're told to be macho and be everything for the family, but you're at a disservice when it comes to everything. You're not being paid enough to be able to provide for your family. You're seen as a threat within society, so you may not get the job that you may or that you may be qualified for because of how you look.
How I look.
You may
how I dress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or just your overall presence. People may be intimidated by you, but society still expects you to do X, Y, and Z, to be strong, to provide, to do this.
Definitely.
And then if you take what you just said and we, I guess, tag on to 2 weeks ago, the episode that we did where Dre said that, our black men are being, don't laugh at my black, my blue. Our black men are being taken from their families in the prime of their life. Yeah. Right? So if you look at all of what you said in terms of be strong, don't cry, don't be emotional and all that stuff, and then factor in the fact that society is taking our men out in the prime when they're supposed to be doing all of this stuff, you can really see why within some relationships there may be some additional stress and some additional strife, because we as a community, and at least I can say me and Akeem, we're doing the best that we can, and because we're at that disservice. So we are truly doing everything that we can within our power to be able to get what we need and achieve the goals that we want. You know what I mean?
So you said that, and I saw this thing on Instagram today that I want to share with our viewers. And it's a guy named Warwick Dunn, right? His mother was shot and killed when he was a teenager. Okay. So let's stop right there. You just mentioned that a lot of children have to now grow up without having a father in their life, right? Due to the fact that they may have been gunned down or whatever the case may be, right? How that impacts these young children. Yeah. Now look at this guy. His mother was shot and killed when he was a teenager, and then because of that, he helped care for his 5 siblings and eventually made it to the NFL.
Amazing.
So he had a good success life,
Successful.
Yes. And then he spent his millions to build over 145 homes for single parents in honor of his mother.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's an amazing story. And it's unfortunate that such a sad situation brought him to where he is. Yeah. To that point where he did do all of that. And who to tell, maybe without that situation, he would have still done the same thing, because it seemed like he was just raised by his mother. So he maybe would have become just as successful in the NFL and done the same thing without having to lose his mother at such a young age. And as we're talking about this disservice that happened in society, I feel like we couldn't go through this segment on relationships and family without touching on Jacob.
Yeah, definitely.
Because from what I understand in Jacob's story, Jacob was somewhere in the community and his family was in the car.
Yeah, his kids.
His 3 kids and his wife and or girlfriend, the female in his life. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob received 7 shots in his back. 7 shots in his back.
Wow.
You know? Now, we're talking about relationships and how strong a relationship is. I saw the news report after with his family that showed up to talk about Jacob and what a nice person he is and how he loved his family. And one of the sisters even said that people used to say they were twins. Yeah. That he's just the boy version of me and all that stuff. Yeah. And that type of family, that type of bond is so good to see. Yeah. For, I guess, easy words. Good to see on TV. You know, because we don't see that a lot within our community. And on top of that, the way how the entire story is being portrayed and the investigations that are being done and all that stuff, it's meant to make it out to be that Jacob is the bad person. But even if I'm walking away from a police officer, that doesn't give you the right to shoot me.
Because they smelled weed?
7 times in my back.
Yeah. Because they
I don't care what you smell. Yeah. For all you know, that's my deodorant or that's just my natural stench. Don't and you know, it's one thing if they shot blanks. It's one thing if they shot him in the leg. Not saying that it's right. But in the 7 times, really?
But you know the thing is, I remember even watching on TV, or even being in the healthcare system, just seeing how nurses and doctors operate. You notice that anytime there are children around a situation, people are more reserved. Yes. They try not to do certain things or act a certain way because children are around. You don't want children to see these kind of things. Even within the home, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend may not argue in front of the children or may not show certain aggression or emotions in front of the children because you don't want them. Yes, and they'll be traumatized by these things. Yes. So now it's like, okay, what happened to being reserved? What happened to thinking about the kids? Because I'm sure when they pulled him over or they looked in his car, they must have seen children in the back. Yeah. Or in the front seat.
You know what? Even if you didn't see them, I'm sure just by your presence, you probably heard them.
Exactly.
Because I doubt it 100%.
Someone must have screamed, cried. It's a daddy.
That nobody is there. All 3 kids are going to be sitting in the car.
They're mute.
Just quiet.
Mute.
And so then when you look at that aspect of the relationship and how a family is here trying to build a strong bond and, you know, the father is in the children's life. And that's amazing because sometimes that's rare to see in this day and age. So you see the father in the life, you see the mother in the lives, you see the 3 children, and this is still your result.
Yeah. They didn't even say, you know what, let's pull out the car, let's pull him aside, let's do.
I mean, they tried to drag him, but then
but why let that be the end result? Especially in front of the children. You know, and like the father said, his dad said it on the press conference, or whatever it was they had with the father and the family. He said it, that those kids are now traumatized and they keep asking the question, why did the police shoot daddy?
Why? And you know, it's really hard for kids to really grasp that concept of, you know, how do I word this? Okay. Growing up as a child, you're taught that the police officers are the good guys.
Serve and protect.
Not even to serve and protect. As a child, you're just hearing they're the good guys. You know, if anything happens, call 911. Call the police. If I fall down, call police. Exactly. So now, as a child, imagine you're hearing call the police, call 911. And you know, 911, police, fire, ambulance. But 1 out of those 3, police, fire, ambulance, 1 out of those 3, you just witnessed them shooting your father. Yeah. Do you think in any other situation, any of those 3 kids are going to call 911? I don't think
they will ever pick up the phone and dial 911 because every time they maybe come close to dialing it, they're going to think they shot
Not
daddy.
Just any time they come close. It was one of the kids' birthdays. Anytime that child celebrates his birthday.
It was the kid's birthday.
I can't even understand it. I can't fathom it, and it hurts me to know that, you know, this happened within our community. outside of that, it hurts me to know that these were young black children, and it just hurts. Like the multiple traumatic things that have been happening the past couple of weeks, they really have had a toll on me. And that's why I said I took the break from social media, because it was just like every day someone was like reposting. And I love social media for that, because it keeps us informed and more informed than we would have been outside of COVID and outside of, I guess, being at home and having the access to your phone. But it's just so sad, the amount of relationships that have been destroyed during this time, whether it be due to COVID-19, whether it be due to gun violence, the lack of love within the black community, or the lack of recognition as to the fact that we are people within our community. I don't know what exactly it is, but I know that our relationships, there have been such a huge strain. And I guess one of the big points that I wanted to bring across in this talk is that, find someone, be it your spouse, be it a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a best friend, a friend, a family member, mommy, daddy, sister, auntie, cousin, somebody to talk to during this time. Yeah. Because it does take a huge toll on you.
State of mind, your mental health.
So it hurts so much. And we started this video on a happier note. Yeah. And it brought us here, but it brought us here because we recognize that all aspects of what's taking place in society affects the family. It affects the home. It affects you and your spouse, your relationship with your child, or, maybe not being as willing to let your child outside or to be as free because, COVID. Or, you never know who they might walk into or buck up on, as they would say back home, buck up on road, and anything happen. Yeah. So, and I don't want to live fearfully, but I want to live wisely. Yeah.
I mean, for me, and you know this, I'm not one that's caught up into politics and all this marching and all that stuff. I'm not caught up in it. But I must say that during these times, seeing what's taking place in our world and south of the border, I'm glad I'm on this side of the border.
Not to say nothing's happening over here.
Yeah, it's happening here, yes.
But it's just not as
intense.
Yeah.
Or it's not as exactly. Exactly. So I'm glad that I'm a black man. I'm glad that I'm on this side of the border. And I just pray that the day doesn't come where I would be stopped by the police and be harassed or whatever that, and then think my life is in danger.
Farce, as my friend would say. Honestly. Farce. If me get no call, me and the police, I kid. Because I don't want them seeing this video and try and come for me.
Yes, please, careful.
So, disregard. Thank you. But
honestly, I'm just grateful for that fact.
And that's very important.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for family. Right? And that's what COVID has really taught me during this time, is just to be grateful for the people that's in your lives, because at any moment they can be taken away from you. Yeah. It's reality, it's the truth. Right?
Just to tag on, we have this infinity stone here, and it has both of our names on it, and it's in a very central part of our home, and it also says infinity love. And oftentimes Akeem and I will look at it and remind ourselves that, our love. What were you gonna say?
I want to tell about a story about this.
Okay, go ahead.
This infinity love thing. So when we moved here, I was setting up stuff in the home and so forth. Lord, and on this corner here, we had some floating shelves. Not these ones, but some other ones. But they weren't on. It wasn't installed properly.
He installed it though.
So I had this on here, and we had another gift item that was beside it. And for some odd reason, right? Not odd reason. I was sitting here one day at the table, and I got up, and
I told him not to sit
clumsy
on
me
Yeah, that's my name from clumsy.
hit the floating shelf, and everything on the floating shelf fell off and mash up.
Broke.
Yes, broke. Except for the infinity. And my dear wife over here at the time, fiance, she may not admit it, but I think she was a bit upset. She was upset.
I thought we were married at the time.
No, we were moving in and setting things up.
Oh.
Right? She was a bit upset. And
I was a lot upset.
She said,
I will admit
I can't believe I tried to sit there.
I did tell him not to sit here because I know him. He did this. Like, he leaned back into the thing and just, like, hit it on purpose.
And I said, sweetheart, DeeDee, everything on that shelf broke. And you know what? I'm okay with it because it's material things.
But I didn't want any of the material things to break.
But the infinity love.
Unbelievable.
The only thing that happened to it, as you can see, a little chip. I don't think you can see it good. A little chip right here.
You gotta do like the makeup.
Right? Yeah, a little.
I don't know where the chip is.
But anyways, there's a little chip. And I said, that is how strong our love is. Is that
he tried to make a whole thing out of it. I started
preaching. I'm like, things around us may fall, they may break, but our love will always remain. And not only will it remain, but it'll remain strong. Look at that. Look at that.
And yes, that is amazing. And that was the point I was trying to get to. That
yes.
Though the world may seem like it is falling apart,
yes.
Though things may seem like it is getting out of hand, and you're just like, that sounds like the that's right.
Oh, that's just TMI. That's me.
No,
that's
it's
me.
Okay, it's okay. So, though everything in your life may seem like it's running amok and it's all over the place, and you don't know how you're gonna deal with school with your kids. You don't know if you and your spouse and or boyfriend and girlfriend are still going strong. You just don't know your left from your right. Mm-hmm. Is as long as there is love, true, genuine love, especially within your home and or within your family, yes, you'll be all right. Just find a couple people who you know got your back through thick and thin, and hold on to those people, especially in this time. And check on the ones you haven't heard from in a minute, because you never know. They may be going through some stuff mentally, or they may be, like Akeem had mentioned, they may have a mental breakdown because of everything that's happening in society. So check on those you love. And
I think that's all she has to say.
That is all I have to say today. I just don't know why I said and.
So I'm going to say what she always says. Thank you for watching. That's Just TMI.
Thanks for watching. That's Just TMI. Sorry. Try again.
Thanks for watching. That's Just TMI.
You didn't have to go up. You could.
Thanks for watching. That's Just TMI.
Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the bell, and share, subscribe, comment,
tell a friend.
Tell a friend. I was like, what am I missing?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Unbelievable. That's Just TMI.
Bye.
See you next time.